Alright, welcome back to Pokémon Omega Ruby vs Emerald. In today's episode, we're going to be fighting against the rival over here in Route 110. She's notorious for being actually quite difficult because she has a medium evolved starter, whether that be a Grovyle, a Marshtomp, or in our case, a Combuskin. So she has a lot of firepower to her. In our case specifically, she can actually be pretty hard because she has really good coverage against all three of our Pokemon at this point in the game. We actually added a new team member, in which we'll see later, but off the top of our head, we have Rhea, which is a normal type, which loses out to Double Kick, and then we have Nadia, a bug type, which loses out to Ember or Flame Charge. But right now we're going to see this kind of weird matchup of Rhea versus Wailmer. I had no idea what she was going to send out, actually. I didn't want to look it up or anything, so I thought to myself, okay, Rhea can fare out pretty well against anything, I feel like. So, you know, that's the benefactor of having a normal type. So we're going to just put on some sleep over here, just to kind of pave way for our next team member, which is the lovely grass type, Alyssa the Oddish. So I'm excited about using an Oddish. Not many people really use this Pokemon in ORAS, I feel like. They usually lose out to the popularity of Shroomish or Trico and stuff. So I thought to myself, you know what, let's bring this Oddish all the way. But off the bat, not the greatest in firepower, you know. Absorb, a 20 base power move, not gonna do too much against this Wailmer. Especially once it starts going for its Whirlpool ability. It's a move that deals residual damage over time, but for right now, we're going to go for a Stun Spore on Wailmer, because we don't really want that to rack up. So Absorb, going to do some more damage, healing up, and we're at the point where Absorb can heal as much as either the Whirlpool residual damage or the Whirlpool move itself. So that's where Stun Spore kind of has that handy kind of ability to it, where as long as we're just kind of like healing up, and Wailmer's just kind of like paralyzed every other turn, we're kind of doing good, you know? In terms of Alyssa's damage output, though, we could have had the opportunity to go grab the Miracle Seed over in Petalburg Woods, but we decided against that, only because it's an optional item. You know, you don't really need to go there to progress the game, and I would rather not teach any of my Pokemon Cut. I will be using HM Slaves in this kind of playthrough, but I don't really want to use it in a kind of way where I don't have to use the Pokemon, if that makes sense. Like, if I feel like if I were to teach my Pokemon Cut, then it would be justified, but I don't kind of want to cheese that, because it's something that I shouldn't be able to get naturally. We will get it later in the game, though. Once we have access to the move deleter, I'll go back and grab Cut and just kind of grab that move and then kind of go on with my day. But after this long rambling session is over, Absorb will kind of take out this Wailmer right here, and we're looking at a pretty good kind of situation here. We saw that we had the Berry from Alyssa earlier, just as an insurance policy. We didn't really need it. 10% or 10 damage rather didn't really prove to be that big of a deal. So coming out now is May's Boss Monster, which is her Combuskin, her tried and true starter. And this is where things can kind of look pretty dicey, because Flame Charge is super effective against Oddish, it's super effective against Dustox, and Double Kick is super effective against Skitty. So our dynamic trio is going to have a little bit of issues here. And I send out Nadia as a scouting measure. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to win this fight, but as we see right now, one of the faults of ORAS is that the AI isn't the greatest. It's one of the reasons why this is considered to be one of the more easier Pokemon games, because there's times like these where they just don't pick the right move. She has access to Flame Charge, which is a stab, super effective move, deals way more damage than Peck, but she's just going to go for Peck anyways, and our Berry is going to trigger here, so we're going to get some HP back, which is pretty cool, and Moonlight's just going to be our recovery method. My strategy here was actually no strategy, believe it or not. I was just so baffled that he wasn't going for any super effective, meaningful move. As you see right now, it's literally going for Double Kick, so I'm just kind of okay, I guess. I'm going to keep healing up just in case you Flame Charge, because I still don't know how much damage that's going to do. Poison is going to allow me to kind of start this kind of endless loop of, if Flame Charge doesn't kill me, hopefully Moonlight lets me heal back more or equal to that amount, so then I can just kind of get damage through that way. But she's just going for Double Kick. It's so embarrassing, May, how how bad you are at picking the right moves, and that's just no fault of the trainer, of course. That's just the bad programming of this game. But we get to the point where it's like, okay, I guess I'll attack you. You know, I had my fun of just watching this spectacular. I'm just gonna go for confusion right here, and it's going to deal not quite enough, but she will fall victim next turn. And I kind of was thinking to myself, should I Moonlight right now, just in case she does go for Flame Charge, because I know she has a Grass type, and I kind of want to be mindful of that, because Nadia is my best fight against Grass types. She does have Struggle Bug, which can be super effective against them, but I think to myself, I'm going to just knock this thing out anyways, because even if it does, let's say, like 7 HP, or like leaves me at 7 HP, I can just kind of like heal up regardless, because I feel like I'm going to be faster than whatever send out anyways. So we're going to be learning Venoshock here, which is actually going to be pretty cool. It's 65 base power, so now it's Nadia's strongest move. It doubles in power if something is poisoned, but as you saw, we lost poison power, so good luck on getting that to happen. But it's okay, we prefer the strong power here. 65 base power is very good. It's going to be able to deal a massive amount of damage to that Shroomish, and Shroomish goes for Leech Seed, and that's something that we're not going to be too mindful about, because you know, we're just going to be able to take it out next turn. Nadia is just, as always, proving to be an invaluable member of the team and just kind of clearing the board for this rival fight. So thanks to Mei and her horrible, horrible AI, we were able to remain unscathed. So let's go to Emerald. So over on the Emerald side of things, we're going to actually have a harder AI. She's not going to throw as often, unfortunately, or fortunately, if you want to have a challenge. I know I do, but she's still going to have this very potent team of Fire, Water, Grass. It's such a well-balanced and well-diversified kind of methodology to team building. We actually have a Grass type of our own, no Water or Fire type. And as you see here, I was so baffled because I did the Omega Ruby session before the Emerald session, so here I thought, okay, we're just going to have Alyssa right off the bat and deal with the Whalmer, but nope, she actually has the Wingull out for us. So we're going to go into Rhea here, and beforehand, we actually went for a Sweet Scent, and that's actually the first time I've ever used that move, like, ever. Sweet Scent lowers evasionness, and we are going to demonstrate not only one, but two inaccurate moves, playing into our favor because of that strategy. First of all, Sing, a 50 accurate move that is going to miss more often than not, so that's why Sweet Scent is actually pretty cool. But we're going to be switching over to our secondary team member, Gambison. He's a new recruit. You actually can't get him at this point in the game in Omega Ruby because he's locked behind a bicycle path to get to his floor, but you can access him in Emerald, so that's one of the differences between Omega Ruby and Emerald. But Rock Tomb is going to be this secondary inaccurate move that I was excited to show off. I was actually very, very giddy after pulling off this combo. I've never used Secret Power or Sweet Scent before, sorry. I haven't used Sweet Scent before. So much so that I'm staring at the move screen. I'm like, do I really want to delete Sweet Scent? Like, I thought it was so cool. But I get rid of Poison Powder here, and I learned Stun Spore, which is going to be an invaluable tool for future fights, just being able to slow things down. We saw in the Omega Ruby kind of side that Stun Spore was very good against Whalmer, just to make sure that it was slowed down. But Combo Skin's coming out right now, and it's a very, very deathly situation here for Gambison. We stayed in just in case because we had Quick Claw on Gambison, so Mud Slap could have possibly dealt some good damage and lowered the accuracy. But right now, it's the moment of truth. Can we live in Ember? But Combo Skin decides instead to go for Focus Energy, and we have a Stun Spore of our own to be able to slow this down. So now I'm a little bit more comfy against this Pokemon. So I think to myself, okay, Alyssa, you served your purpose. I'm going to just throw out some Bullet Seeds, and you're going to be death fodder from now on, honestly. But it's okay. So Bullet Seed hitting 3 times here, and Ember is going to connect, and it won't kill. It's going to leave us at 1. So even if it didn't go for Focus Energy earlier, we could have been able to survive and just set up a Stun Spore. So very cool level up. That's actually the second time in this playthrough where a level up has saved somebody from death. We remember Nadia's block situation against Roxanne that left her at 1. But Combuskin is going to get that critical hit, unnecessary, honestly. And we're going to go out to our girl, Rhea. And we have one strategy here with Rhea. We're going to go for Tail Whip. I could have gone for Tackle here, but it probably would have only done like 10%. but we have Nadia waiting in the wings with literal wing power of Gust. So Tail Whip is going to just kind of soften up that combo skin so that Nadia can come in and just start throwing out those Gust powers. So the cool thing about Nadia is that in terms of early bug-based stats, she has very good special defense. So she has actually no problem dealing with this Ember. In fact, you're going to see right now that Ember will critical hit and just leave us at 17. So with the combination of Stun Spore slowing Combuskin down, Tail Whip lowering the defense and stuff, and Gambison just kind of being Gambison, taking out their other member, I guess, Nadia is going to have this one-on-one fight against this Lombre. Do I have a Moonlight? Yes, I do. I have Moonlight in this, so I use Moonlight to kind of give myself a insurance policy and just kind of heal myself up. Lombre is going to be slower than me, and just in case Gust doesn't KO here, I just want to make sure that Fury Swipes doesn't get a million crits and ruins our day. We are on our last member, you know. So Gust getting a critical hit there, not going to deal enough damage to take it out, but that's okay. We can just go for a second Gust, and that's going to be the Mei fight. A lot harder now that we have the proper AI to actually deal super effective moves against us, but we did it, so we'll see you guys next time.